7 strange clues that could mean early memory loss. What you call forgetfulness could be your brain collapsing, and you don't even know it. Imagine standing in your kitchen, keys in hand, completely blank about what you were about to do. Feels familiar, doesn't it? But what if these senior moments weren't as harmless as they seem? New research suggests they might mean something far more serious than you'd expect, something your brain wants you to know. The truth is unsettling. Memory loss isn't just a condition that affects the elderly. It's a fast-growing global problem. Over 55 million people are affected already, and experts predict that number will double by 2050. Yet most people never see it coming. Why? Because of 7 strange and unexpected warning signs that are shockingly easy to miss. You might shrug off these signs as stress, aging, or just having too much on your plate. But neurologists are discovering clues that could save years of cognitive decline if you catch them in time. Let's dive into the first one. Just wait until you see what's happening right under your nose, literally. Let's start with the first clue, one that almost no one sees coming. It's happening right under your nose, literally. Scientists have uncovered something astonishing about your sense of smell. The ability to detect scents like lemon, mint, coffee, or cinnamon isn't just about enjoying the world around you. It's tied directly to your brain's health. Dr. Rachel Martinez conducted a groundbreaking study that tracked 3,500 adults for over a decade. What she discovered was stunning. Those who gradually lost their ability to identify common smells were 2.5 times more likely to face serious memory problems within the next 10 years. But here's what makes it even more fascinating. Your sense of smell shares a critical connection with memory. It's like an early warning system built right into your brain. And this is just the first clue. The next warning sign might be in your hands right now. You probably never think twice about it. But what if the way you write could reveal what's happening in your brain? Most people completely miss this clue, but the connection is striking. In 2023, researchers analyzed over 10,000 handwriting samples and made a startling discovery. Subtle changes, slightly larger letters, uneven spacing, or shaky strokes, appeared years before patients reported any memory problems. How many people are walking around with these unnoticed signs? Dr. James Cooper, the lead author of the study, explains, "We could predict cognitive decline with 91% accuracy just by examining handwriting. But why? Why does handwriting, of all things, give away so much? You'll want to keep reading to find out. Could your wallet be revealing something your brain hasn't told you yet? The next clue is something most of us dismiss without a second thought: our spending habits. But researchers have uncovered specific financial behaviors that could signal trouble brewing long before anyone suspects it. In 2023, a groundbreaking study found that unusual financial habits, like forgetting to pay bills, making peculiar purchases, or struggling to split a check, often appeared years before any diagnosis. Dr. Sarah Henderson, the lead researcher, explains, "We saw patients making shocking errors with money, things they'd handled with ease for decades. But what's behind these changes? And why did they appear so early? As it turns out, the answers reveal much more than meets the eye." Have you noticed the words you use lately? Or how smoothly conversations flow? The next clue might already be slipping into how you speak, but it's so subtle that most people wouldn't notice, not even you. A groundbreaking study tracked how people talked over 15 years, and the results were eye-opening. Participants who began leaning on vague words, saying "it" or "that thing" instead of specific terms, or who paused more frequently while searching for common words, showed clear signs of future cognitive decline. Dr. Michael Chen puts it simply, "It's not about obvious memory lapses. It's about subtle shifts in how people express themselves." But why are such small changes in speech so revealing? It turns out the explanation is just as fascinating as the clue itself. What if your feet knew something your brain hasn't told you yet? The next clue lies in the simple act of walking, something you do every day without thinking twice. But groundbreaking research reveals that the way you walk could be sending subtle signals about your brain's health. In 2024, a study uncovered a fascinating connection between physical movement and cognitive decline. Scientists found that slight changes in your walking pattern, like slower steps, shorter strides, or subtle shifts in balance, often appear years before more obvious symptoms. Dr. Lisa Thompson explains, the way people walk could predict cognitive decline with remarkable accuracy. But the real question is, what ties walking to brain health so closely? The answer may completely change how you see this everyday activity. Have you ever noticed jokes landing a little differently? Or someone struggling to keep up with sarcasm or subtle humor? It might seem like a small thing, but this next clue is anything but trivial. In 2023, researchers uncovered a fascinating link between humor and brain health. People who suddenly found it harder to process sarcasm or understand nuanced jokes were 3 times more likely to develop cognitive issues within 5 years. As Dr. Robert Kamar explains, it's not about losing your sense of humor. It's about losing the ability to process the complex connections that make humor work. But what makes humor such a powerful clue? And could the way you laugh reveal more than you think? The final clue may be hiding in plain sight, on your shelves, in your closets, or scattered across your home. It's a behavior most families chalk up to personality quirks or harmless eccentricities. But what if it's something more? In 2024, researchers made a startling discovery. Sudden, purposeless collecting or hoarding behaviors, like keeping piles of newspapers, holding onto random items, or struggling to organize belongings, often appeared years before any other symptoms of cognitive decline. Dr. Emily Winston's research found that 82% of patients with early-stage memory issues showed these behaviors up to 4 years before diagnosis. But why do these behaviors show up so early? And what does it say about how our brains manage decision-making and organization? There's more to this story than most people realize. This is where things get complicated. Not everyone agrees on what these signs mean. Are they just signs of stress, depression, or normal aging? Or are they the brain's way of sending a desperate cry for help? Some medical professionals remain skeptical, but mounting evidence is making these clues harder and harder to ignore. In fact, a 2024 study from the Global Institute of Neuroscience revealed something astonishing. Early intervention could delay significant memory loss by up to 8.5 years. Think about that. Years, not months, of preserving your mind, your memories, your independence. But the window to act is small. What happens if we miss it? Take Maria Thompson, a 54-year-old accountant. One day, she noticed something odd. Her morning coffee, once her favorite ritual, no longer had a scent. Soon after, strange mistakes began creeping into her work. She started making errors in simple math, errors she never would have made before. At first, she thought it was just stress, something she could shake off. But deep down, she felt something wasn't right. What Maria decided to do next changed everything. By recognizing these early signs and seeking help, she was able to catch the problem before it spiraled out of control. With cognitive training and lifestyle changes, her doctors say she's seen remarkable improvement. But what if she had ignored it? How many people miss these signals every day, brushing them off as nothing? Could you, or someone you care about, be doing the same right now? The numbers don't lie. The latest research reveals a staggering possibility. Early awareness and intervention could reduce the risk of severe cognitive decline by up to 40%. But here's the catch: timing is everything. Dr. Henderson explains, the window for effective intervention is much wider than we previously believed. But how wide is this window? And more importantly, how quickly can it close? Every month matters. Each delay has consequences. It's a race against time, one that could reshape your future or the future of someone you love. As we conclude, remember this vital truth. Your brain is constantly communicating with you through subtle changes in your daily life. The question isn't whether these signs matter. Research clearly shows they do. The real question is, are you paying attention to what your brain is trying to tell you? And more importantly, what will you do with this information?